Robbinsdale swinging in, and it is a fair ball, and Wayzata wins it. Tampa Park back to state for the third straight year.
Welcome to Sports Jam for the week of March 12th. I'm Jay Wilcox.
And I'm John Jacobson. Today on the show, section boys basketball playoff highlights. Plus, we'll meet a steady leader for the star-studded Hopkins boys basketball team in our Sports Jam spotlight.
But first, section finals in girls basketball. 6 teams from the area played in section championships in a fantastic week of hoops. That includes a thriller for Maple Grove. The Crimson faced top seed St. Michael Albertville in the Section 8 4A final. They get out and running. Abby Schulte with a crossover move and layup for the Crimson. Then they send it ahead to Autumn Maliner for an easy 2. It's a close game all night. Maple Grove leads 25-24 at halftime. Second half, and Katrina Tice kicks it out to Jordan Lampker for a big 3 to put the Crimson up by a couple of points. She scores 18. But Whitney Dold makes a big play for the Knights, getting the steal and layup to tie the game at 50-50, and it goes to overtime. In OT, the Crimson swing the ball to Maliner for a big 3 to start the scoring. They never give up the lead, and Maple Grove pulls out a 59-56 overtime win to take the section title.
Oh my gosh, it's one of the greatest feelings in the world. I mean, I've dreamt about this since I was a little kid, and there's nothing better than this. I'm so happy.
Maple Grove is the number 5 seed for the state tournament. The Crimson meet 4th seed Lakeville North at noon Wednesday in the quarterfinals at Target Center.
The Hopkins girls have finished as state runner-up the past 2 seasons in Class 4A. The Royals will get at least a chance this week to win that final game. Hopkins taking the floor at Minneapolis Roosevelt High School against South in the Section 6 final. Raina Suggs, a steal, goes the other way for Hopkins on her way to a big night. Amaya Battle with a quick release shot for 3. It's good for a 23-5 Royals lead. Then Angie Hammond gets the steal and takes it to the goal as Hopkins dominates the first half. Paige Bueckers is wide open for 3 and hits for the Royals. 20 points in the game for the All-State guard. Bueckers to Suggs, and she hits from long range. Suggs scores 29 points. Hopkins rolls to the section title 95-62. Hopkins is the number 2 seed behind Eastview for the 4A tournament. The Royals meet Forest Lake in the quarterfinals Wednesday afternoon at Target Center, and we'll hear from the Royals later in the show. Park Center was shooting for a 5th consecutive trip to the state tournament. After winning an overtime thriller in the semifinals, the Pirates faced Roseville for the Section 5 4A championship. First half, and Lauren Frost knocks down a 3-pointer from the wing. 8 first half points for the sophomore. Nice give and go here between the Raiders' Jada Johnston and Jada Hood. Johnston gets the layup on her way to a 16-point game. After trailing by 10 in the first half, the Pirates rallied late. Adalia McKenzie scores and is fouled, gets the 3-point play. These teams are tied 23-all at halftime. Early second half, Charles Nickens hits a 3 from the corner to give Park Center a lead at 31-28. But the Raiders go on a big scoring run. Kaylee Nelson hits back-to-back 3s to put Roseville up by 11. They scored a lot of points in the paint as well. Josie Hogg scoring here. Roseville wins 61-45. They'll play Cretin-Derham Hall at state.
The Cooper girls were aiming for their first trip to the state tournament. The Hawks faced a familiar foe in the Section 6 3A final as they played Benilde. Ju Gaston hits a 3 from the top of the key, and it's 13-5 Hawks to start. The Red Knights, though, fight back. Isabel Fleming hits 3 of her 26 points here, and Benilde is within 18-16. Cooper pushes the pace. Asia Wheeler sets up Andrea Tribble for the layup, and the Hawks go up 29-18. Wheeler has another solid game as this time she goes all the way for 2 plus a foul. Cooper leads 33-20 at the half. Second half, they run a nice break. TT Long sets up Kiara Wheeler for the layup and foul. Cooper celebrates its first section title with a 62-47 win. Now they'll open the state tournament where their coach plays her college ball at Williams Arena.
I mean, I think it's another great opportunity, and for me to just kind of share what it's like to play in that environment. Like, I know I've had my girls shoot on the side baskets a couple times at practice because there's no wall behind them. And, you know, that's one thing when you go to the barn and the Target Center, that depth perception opens up a little bit.
Cooper's only 2 losses are to 4A teams, and they receive the #1 seed for the 3A tournament. The Hawks face Alexandria in the quarterfinals Wednesday morning at Williams Arena. Like Cooper, Maranatha Christian Academy changed classes this season. The Mustangs are now up in 2A, and they played for the Section 5 title against Holy Family. Maranatha fans in all shapes and sizes on hand in St. Cloud for this one. Holy Family's Lee Steiner with a nice drive, then hesitation and finish for the Fire. Steiner leads all players in the game with 20 points. Kylie Post steps in for a steal for the Mustangs, and she takes it all the way for the hoop, plus a foul here. The senior with the big night as she scores 18 points. Brianna Smithstead from just inside the free throw line turns around and hits the jumper. MCA leads this one by 1 at halftime. Fire head coach Ellen Thompson sees her daughter Shay Thompson pop in a 3 early in the second half to tie the game up. But the Mustangs surge ahead after that. Kayla Jo Davis drives and kisses the shot off the glass for 2. And then Kay Barth Lofton tries for a 3. The ball comes to Jacqueline Jarnett, who follows her own miss to score. Maranatha wins at 65-55 to take the Section 5 2A championship.
I'm so excited. It's like an unexplainable emotion. You know, moving up to 2A, we weren't supposed to go. We were #2 seed. They were the favorite team. But I'm so excited, 9th time in a row.
We've been chasing all year to tie Minneapolis North's consecutive trips to the state tournament with 9 consecutive. It's been a huge undertaking to do it.
Congratulations to them. The Mustangs are the #2 seed for the 2A tournament. They'll face Mesabi East in the quarterfinals Wednesday at 6 p.m. at Williams Arena.
Maranatha's move out of Section 4A opened the door for someone new to win the section, and a local team took advantage of that opportunity. Heritage Christian facing Mayor Lutheran for the title, a team the Eagles lost to back in January. Kaylee Scott leads the break for Heritage, finishes as the Eagles start fast. Annika Simonson to Jordan Allen. She scores for an 18-6 Heritage lead. Lauren Robbins hits from long range for the Eagles, and they're up by 20. But Mayor Lutheran chips away. Olivia Jernagel gets into the lane and hits, cutting the lead down to 6. Second half, Scott shakes a defender and nails a 3-pointer. The junior scores 27 points in the game. The Eagles work it inside for Allen, and she scores for a 47-33 Heritage lead. Mayor Lutheran comes back again. Addie Huckey hits a tough shot, cutting the Heritage lead down to 8. The Eagles answer every charge. Simonson with a steal, dishes off to Scott, who drives and scores. Heritage wins 71-58 for the school's first ever section title in girls basketball.
Super cool. We really came together as a team this year, worked super hard in practices and stuff like that. So it's fun for the team and for the school and everyone involved.
Heritage meets top-seeded Lyle Pacelli in the state Class A quarterfinals. That game is at 11 a.m. Thursday at Williams Arena. So, Jay, 5 local teams in the state tournament spread out over all 4 classes.
Yeah, that's a new record for us. Yeah. Obviously, the change in sections helped to make that happen a little bit because some of the teams were in the same section before, but still pretty impressive for those teams, and good luck to all of them. Stay with us straight ahead. The boys basketball playoffs heat up when Sports Jam continues.
Welcome back to Sports Jam.
Time to talk boys basketball. Section champs will be crowned later this week. Top seed Hopkins meeting 4th seed Armstrong in the Section 6 4A semis. Hopkins gets out to an early lead on the strength of offensive rebound. Zeke Naji with the putback here, and it's 8-2 Royals. But Armstrong comes ready to play. Nassim Lozier blows by his defender for the layup, and it's 13-12 Falcons. Isaiah Miller with a perfect pass to Jake Breitbach on the backdoor cut, and his layup spins around and falls. Armstrong is within 4 at halftime. Second half of the same combination works, and watch Breitbach's difficult layup here. Upset-minded Armstrong goes up by 5. But Hopkins doesn't panic. Blaze Beauchamp nails a 3 to put the Royals back in front. Then it's good passing to Joe Hedstrom for 2. Hopkins holds off a big challenge from Armstrong in Coach Greg Miller's final game after 17 seasons leading the Falcons. 66-51 Royals is the final.
Wayzata won Section 6 4A in 2017. A much younger team took the floor this winter. The Trojans once again find themselves in the section final. Wayzata met St. Louis Park in the section semifinals Friday night. The Orioles shoot well early. Luke Peterson hits a three to put St. Louis Park up 9-3. One of four made three-pointers by Park in the first half. Keaton Heidi had a nice game scoring for the Trojans. He hits for three here and finishes the night with 14 points. Freshman Cody Williams drives baseline and floats a shot over the Park defender. Williams with 16 points off the bench, and the game is tied at halftime. Second half, and Heidi connects on another three-pointer to make the score 34-27 Wayzata. Williams finds an open lane to drive to the basket, giving the Trojans a 9-point lead. But Park keeps the game close. Kyrie Mayfield drives and then dishes the ball beautifully to Aiden Doherty, and the Orioles get as close as three. Wayzata holds its lead, and Jacob Benega with a corner three late, as Wayzata wins it over Park 66-59. So it's a rematch in the section finals. Wayzata takes on top seed Hopkins Wednesday night at Osseo High School. The Royals won both regular season meetings.
The semifinals are this Tuesday in Section 5 4A boys hoops. The top three seeds are from the area, and they all advanced, but the games weren't as easy as you might think in the quarterfinals. Top seed Park Center played host to Moundsview. 8th seed Moundsview is ready to play. Colin Jones knocks down a three as the Mustangs take an 8-4 lead. They're in front for a good chunk of the first half. Emmanuel Tamba jump-starts the Pirates, though, jabbing the ball free and then driving for the hoop and foul as Park Center pulls within three. They go inside to DJ Purnell. He gathers and scores two of his 22 points, and the game is even at 20-20. Next time, Purnell is the passer as he drops it to Dane Danger for the hoop inside as Park Center comes on strong. Jarius Cook gets the block. Tommy Chapman passes ahead to Datavius Frierson for the short bank, and the Pirates go up by 8. And Cook is on fire late in the first half, hitting 4 three-pointers on his way to a 23-point game as Park Center wins at 85-64. The Pirates play Spring Lake Park in the semifinals Tuesday at Maple Grove.
At Champlin Park, the second-seeded Rebels were at home to face a scrappy Centennial squad. Benedetto gets his feet set and drains a three for the Rebels. The junior nets 13 points in the game. Josiah Strong has the hot hand this night. He connects on a three from the corner. Strong would later surpass 1,000 career points. Mark Tuchter's team had 4 players score in double figures. Jared Walter was one of them. His three puts the Rebels ahead by 6. But the Cougars hang around. Andrew Metz goes baseline here and he lays in 2. It's 40-36 Champlin Park at halftime. Second half, a nice drive down the lane by Strong. He dumps the pass off to Carlston McKenzie for the layup. Champlin Park never trails in the second half, leading by as many as 20. They end up winning by 3 in the end. 81-78 the final. They move into the semifinals. In another Section 5 4A game, third-seeded Osseo faced Irondale. Cheeky Okonkwo, tough rebound and put back in the first half. Adam Price goes through the Osseo defense. He'll score here for Irondale. Price had a big first half. He hit the long three-pointer and had 20 points in the first half for the Knights. Zach Tyson penetrates, then gets the pass to Emmett Page. He hits a three. It's a 32-all score at halftime. Second half, Richard Mulva, the long pass ahead to Page for an Orioles hoop. Page has a huge second half. Three-pointer from the corner drops as Osseo starts to build the lead. And then Page will float a nice pass to Okonkwo and the pick and roll. He scores underneath, putting the Orioles up 60-45. They win 74-60. They'll play Champlin Park in the semis Tuesday at Maple Grove.
The Cooper boys are now in Class 3A. The Metro West Conference champions were the number 3 seed in the section. They hosted Minneapolis Roosevelt in the quarterfinal round. The Hawks on the move. The pass to Jalen Miller lays in 2 of his 11 points, and Cooper's up early. Coach Bo Powell's team opens up on the lead. Nathan Hill drives hard down the lane for 2 as the Hawks go up by 12 at 18-6. But the Teddies come back. They get the steal, and Desi Sims takes it back the other way. He scores 19 points in the game, and Roosevelt is up by 7 at halftime. The second half is pretty much all Cooper, though. Trocon Massey explodes to the basket for the dunk here. He finishes with 16. 4 Cooper players scoring double figures. They win 81-58. But in the semifinals Saturday, the Hawks fall to number 2 seed Orono 87-77. The Jalen's, Miller, and Justice combined for 41 points. The Hawks finish 19-7. Along with girls basketball, it's state tournament week in adapted floor hockey. A handful of local teams have qualified for the tournament in the 2 divisions. In the PI Division quarterfinals Friday, Anoka Hennepin meets Rochester, the number 2 seed from the North Conference. Robbinsdale Hopkins Mound West Tonka takes on St. Paul Humboldt. And Maple Grove meets the top seed from the South Conference, Dakota United. The semifinals are Saturday morning at 10:30 with the championship at 2:30. In the CI Division, Anoka Hennepin faces New Prague in the quarterfinals. Maple Grove faces South Washington County. The semifinals are Saturday at noon and the championship at 4 p.m. The tournament is at Bloomington Jefferson. And back to basketball now. A couple of Class 2A teams, Brecken Brooklyn Center, and Class A teams Heritage and Prairie Seas are into their semifinals in their sections this week. Yeah,
and Totino, Grace, and Benilde each lost in their semifinals Saturday in Class 3A, with Grace's loss coming in overtime. Next up in our Sports Jam Spotlight, meet a Hopkins senior who has helped lead his team back to the section final. The Hopkins boys basketball team plays Wayzata on Wednesday for a spot in the state tournament. The Royals feature several dynamic players this year. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet a Hopkins senior guard and captain who has quietly put together a strong season.
Anthony Davis says his Hopkins team was selfish offensively early in the year. But that's changed in his eyes, made the Royals even better on both ends of the floor.
Ever since then, on defense, like in practice, that's all we pretty much work on is like getting stops on defense, and then after that we worry about offense later. And then I just feel like we are developing on being more of a team, and I really enjoy how we were playing off this year.
Davis is averaging over 15 points per game on a Royals team blessed with several players who can score. His overall game is noticed by opponents, and certainly by his head coach.
Anthony's had a phenomenal year. Phenomenal year. I mean, he should be getting so many accolades, it's unbelievable. He's our second leading scorer. He's our leading assist man. He guards the best kid on each team every single day. He's doing a great job defensively. He's kind of leading the team.
Davis was Hopkins' 6th man as a sophomore. Now as a senior captain and 2-year starter, he's taken on more of a leadership role and become more vocal.
Communicating with everybody, like yelling, make sure clear everybody, make sure like hearing you. And Coach Novak always tells me, he always talks to me one-on-one. He's like, Anthony, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta be more vocal. So I just pretty much be vocal on both sides of the floor and get my team ready.
The 2016 state champion Royals that Davis was a part of was led by Amir Coffey, now playing at the University of Minnesota. He's a guy that Anthony looked up to and regularly stays in touch with today.
He was pretty much like my idol, and like when I was younger, and I feel like I was like, oh, who's this kid? Who's this kid? I want to know him. So I start hanging out with him more, start like actually doing like workouts with him, and he just like gives me tips on like pretty much just try to be a leader as much as you can, and even though you're young, just try to be a leader.
While he says his favorite NBA players are Kevin Durant and Damian Lillard, we had to ask him about the other Anthony Davis, the Pelicans' power forward, who's developed into one of the game's top players.
I liked him a lot, and then I got his autograph, and I told him about my name as Anthony Davis too. And then like recently I searched him up, and then his birthday is a day after mine this week. Actually, his birthday's on a Sunday, and my birthday's on a Saturday, so I was like, we got a lot of comments. So.
But it's not all basketball for Anthony. He says he tries to be positive at school and interacts with as many classmates as he can.
I love being a great role model to everybody around the school. I'm always trying to make new friends every day, and I just like to see everybody happy all the time. So that's pretty much my goal, to see everybody happy.
He's a great kid in school. I mean, he's a great kid to have in class because he's a kid that's going to sit in front. He sits up. He listens well. Everybody likes Anthony because Anthony treats people the way they should be treated.
Davis admits it was tough watching Wayzata celebrate a section championship against the Royals last March. He hopes things are different this week and dreams of finishing his prep career with another state championship.
Oh, it'll feel amazing because I already have one on my belt. I want to get another one, so I'm really trying to achieve that goal.
That was that Euro step.
Anthony says he'll take some college visits after the high school season as he is getting looks from a few Division I schools plus D2 programs. He said he'd like to study business in college and maybe one day be a small business owner. Jay Wilcox talks with the state tournament-bound Hopkins girls. Up next.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. As we saw earlier, the Hopkins girls basketball team headed back to the state tournament in Class 4A, where they'll be one of the favorites. We're joined by Paige Bueckers and also Coach Brian Cosgriff. And starting with Paige, you guys performed pretty well in that section tournament. Jumped on South in the championship right away. Was that something you talked about, you really getting off to that kind of a start and just kind of putting the pedal down right away?
Yeah, we wanted to set the tempo of the game right away because we knew they were a good team and they upset Wayzata the week before. So just staying focused and sticking to our game plan and stepping on them right away was our biggest thing.
Yeah, was that something that got your team's attention, even though it didn't directly involve you, to see that, there was an upset like that can happen and that kind of make you guys realize, it can happen to anyone?
Yeah, it's tournament time now. Anything can happen. It's like a whole new ball game. It doesn't matter what your record was before. We didn't expect Wayzata to lose, so obviously it was an eye-opener for us, but it shows that anything can happen.
You had a little bit of time where you had to sit out with a little bit of an injury, but are you feeling pretty good now and really getting things humming for both yourself and the team after you came back?
Yeah, we went through some adversity earlier in the season, and we're a better team now because of it, and I think we're 100% healthy, and we're hitting our peak right now.
You guys were in the tournament last year, came very close to a championship, but fell a little bit short. How much motivation does that provide?
Well, it wasn't just last year, it was the year before that too, so it definitely brings a lot of pressure on us, but we love the pressure, and that's what Hopkins does, so yeah, it's a lot for us.
Paige, congrats on the section title and good luck in the tournament.
Thank you.
And Coach Cosgriff, back in a kind of a familiar spot in the state tournament here, but how proud are you of this group, the way they've come together at the end of the year like this?
Well, I'm very proud. You never want to take this experience for granted. You never know if you're going to get back from year to year. There's a lot of luck involved, and I'll tell you what, we want to make the most of it this year.
Looking at the tournament field that's mostly filled out, what do you see from the field overall this year?
Well, I think it's going to be a great field. This has been a year kind of upsets, and with Centennial getting knocked out and Park Center and those types of teams, it can be anybody's game at this point, and you better be prepared. You better be able to go in there knowing that you're going to have to play every possession as hard as you possibly can. To me, it's my favorite time of the year, whether I'm participating in it or watching it. And the weather's starting to get nice, and it's so much fun. I really enjoy it.
Brian, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on another section championship.
Thank you very much.
All right, Brian Cosgriff, the head coach of the Hopkins girls basketball team, as they get set for the Class 4A tournament. We'll leave you with a look at how things shake out for that 4A tournament and then our plays of the week.
Boy, trying to put the Pirates back in front and does.
And that will do it for this week's show.
Highlights from section boys basketball plus state girls basketball and adapted floor hockey next time here on Sports Jam.